AITA for telling my SIL no cares that she's pregnant. I'm on mobile and my grammar will probably be bad because after today I needed to get drunk. Backstory: my cousin, 33F, who I'll call Mary, lost her husband, 32 meters, and 2 of her 3 children, 3F and 9 months male, in a car accident last week. Her and her daughter, 5, are as you would expect. It's just heartbreaking. Well, today was the funeral. My brother's wife, 26, announced her pregnancy the second they arrived at our house this morning. We were like, okay, congratulations, but please keep it on the down low for today. Well, when we arrived at the church, she kept making gagging sounds and rubbing her stomach, saying, as a mom can't imagine what she is going through. They have no kids, so people would look at her and she'd tell them she was pregnant. Afterwards, at my aunt's house, my SIL kept making everything about her like someone's in the bathroom. SIL would loudly say, "Pregnant lady needs to pee." She literally told my cousin's sister give her seat so the lady with a baby could rest her feet. I ignored her till she came to Mary, stuck out her flat belly and said, "Me and Isaac just found out I was pregnant, and honestly we are beside ourselves. It could happen to us." Mary broke down. I snapped, like, who says that to a woman who just literally lost 2 babies? I said loudly to my SIL, "No gives a fuck, you're pregnant. Look around, it's not just 1 but 2 babies' funerals, not to mention the love of Mary's life. Like I knew you were an attention seeker. But for fuck's sake, you took the test 4 days ago, just leave." She left it in tears, and my bother called me a fat bitter bitch. I've gotten phone calls from my bother and SIL family calling me the world of name because I made a pregnant woman cry. If I'm being honest, even though Mary and my aunt thanked me because it was all making her upset, I feel worse about making a scene. Please put me in my place if I'm wrong. So, little update: I found out this morning brother and SIL harassed my cousin with phone calls for her to talk to me about yesterday. My aunt gave both of them an earful, then made my cousin turned off her phone. My brother and SIL were at my parents' house trying to get their side in. Parents are on my side. When I arrived, they both came at me screaming and yelling about SIL feelings, and she could miscarry from the stress I caused her. Again, I told them a funeral, especially one for 2 children, isn't the time to announce a pregnancy and get the fuck out of my face. SIL said if I didn't lose my attitude and apologize, I'd never be in their child's life. I told her I didn't care, and if she was gonna use the kid as weapon, I didn't want to be in its life. Things got heated and my father ended up kicking out my brother and SIL, so yeah, all this drama at a time we should be there for one another. And to the people asking in the comments and DMs, you can use this story. I want my bother to find it and read the comments. NTA. Things like that aren't things you regret saying. They're things you'd regret not saying. It sounds like your family is going through a really hard time. Your SIL was being insensitive and behaving poorly. Under the circumstances, you can absolutely forgive yourself for losing your temper. Your cousin must have been distraught. NTA. My absolute best to your cousin and her daughter. And to you. What a dreadful thing to happen. Internet Rondo here will try to pass on good vibes. NTA. Your SIL was so disgustingly out of line. I would honestly go NC with her and your brother. That behavior was the most horrendous thing I've read, and this is Reddit. NTA. She's a monster. Did your brother say anything to her? I cannot find any mitigating circumstances for how your SIL behaved, and I'm really good at being able to see multiple sides to any situation. I'm frankly appalled. Her behavior would have been obnoxious if the gathering had been a family birthday brunch. That it was a funeral. For multiple people including babies. Made it shocking. NTA. Someone needed to shut her down. Sorry it had to be you. NTA. But boy. Your SIL is a huge asshole. WTF does that shit at a funeral? For babies and a father? In all actuality, you were much nicer than I would have been. The only one being trashy was your SIL. This is one of those where I read the title and went, I can't imagine how you could not be the asshole, and then read the post and went, oh. NTA. I am not normally a scene-making person. But this is the kind of thing that making a scene is for. I am not normally one for publicly shaming someone, but this is what public shame is for. Sometimes someone's behavior is so far beyond the pale that the kindest and most righteous act for everyone else involved is to make a goddamn scene. Which you did. I'm so glad you were there to stand up for your cousin. Your poor cousin. Your poor cousin's daughter. Reading this made me feel just absolutely sick for them. I'll be lighting a candle for them. And the rest of your family. Today. NTA. I'm 32 weeks pregnant and can't stand for longer than 5 minutes without pain. Even then I'd be keeping my mouth hella shut at a funeral. Regardless of who or how the deceased died. What a horribly conceited, spiteful, entitled SIL. My heart breaks for your family. Thank you for standing up for your niece and cousin. I came in here expecting to give a totally different answer, but NTA. She is way out of line. So they're calling you names for making her cry. But they don't seem to care that SIL made Mary break down at the funeral of 60% of her family. SIL needs an attitude adjustment. And it looks like you gave it to her. NTA. NTA. Wow. Your SIL is horrible. NTA. They are allowed to happy that they are expecting a child. But definitely could have waited another week or month to make announcements. It also seems she isn't far along and should have wait to make announcements. NTA. Your SIL and brother are massively insensitive ones though. The fuck was she thinking? You don't announce your pregnancy on the day of not one, but 3 funerals. Especially when the grieving widow has also lost a toddler and an infant. You absolutely did the right thing telling her off. Fuck everyone in this thread saying you suck for making a scene. Your SIL made a scene and you ended it for the sake of a grieving mother and child. NTA. What the hell is wrong with her? At a funeral, seriously. Block her toxic ass and never look back. Your SIL is literally the worst. NTAX 1000 and I hope Mary is being checked on because that is literally heart-wrenching. I'm 15W pregnant and that would be literally the last place I would ever announce my pregnancy. I would try to avoid that conversation as much as humanly possible just for respect. And the fact that it's not just a normal funeral. A fucking triple awful funeral. Wow. I am speechless. Fuck your brother. Fuck your SIL. Fuck their families. I hope it was a false positive. How the fuck could anyone do something like that? Cut them all off cold turkey. They're horrible, horrible people. NTA. I would have done more than just make her cry. NTA. She seems like a self-centered attention seeker. Sending prayers for your cousin. NTA. I can understand that she's excited for her pregnancy. But there's a time and a place for announcing that sort of thing, and a funeral isn't one of them. I probably would have snapped too. She has no empathy for the loss your family is going through. Just according to her behavior alone. You're the MVP. You had your cousin's back and you protected her when she was in pain. I can't even imagine how much she was hurting, and then to have someone else try and hijack the event and take her seat and make it about her feelings? And your brother insulting your body? That is just irrelevant and disgusting. He owes you an apology. I am so sorry for your loss. I can't even begin to find words for how awful the situation is and how much I hope you and your cousin can find support to help you through this. Can you call her back to make her cry again? NTA.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.